Never trust a federal judge, especially if he is your father. My dad, Judge Richard Kaplan, spent 40 years sentencing criminals in Ohio. But 3 days ago, he died, leaving me a secret manila envelope. Inside was a photography of a second family living 30 miles away, and another daughter who looks exactly like me. 10 minutes ago, I dialed her phone number in absolute panic, and a voice that sounds 100% identical to mine just answered. She didn't say hello. She whispered my exact full name, and then she said, "Father told me you would call after he died."
The girl on the other end of the line didn't hang up. She told me to look at the very bottom of the manila envelope. Hidden inside a secret lining was a heavy silver key with a court seal. I ran back to my father's private law office at 3 a.m. Behind the massive wooden bookcase, the key opened a hidden steel vault. Inside, there were no legal case files. There were dozens of medical journals spanning 40 years. Every single page tracked the physical development, fears, and psychological weaknesses of 2 subjects. Subject A was me. Subject B was her. Our entire lives, our schools, our friends, even our childhood illnesses were meticulously planned and orchestrated by Judge Kaplan. We weren't just his daughters. We were a 40-year-old classified genetic experiment.
I stared at the medical charts in absolute disbelief. The journals weren't funded by a government agency. The funding came from a private offshore trust owned by 3 tech billionaires. They didn't want my father to sentence criminals. They paid him to use his court authority. For 40 years, Judge Kaplan targeted specific families who entered his courtroom. Families with rare, specific biological markers. He would legally terminate their parental rights, sign the custody papers, and send the children to secret black-budget laboratories in rural Ohio. The database ledger listed over 200 names. Children who were officially declared missing or runaways by the police. Suddenly, the mainframe terminal inside the hidden vault activated itself. A text message appeared on the screen, typing in real time. It said, "Subject A has accessed the ledger. Dispatching security team to the courthouse." And outside the window, I just heard the heavy steel gates of the court parking lot lock.
The elevators inside the courthouse went dead. The backup generators kicked in, turning the grand marble hallways into a maze of dark shadows and flashing red alarm lights. I grabbed the hard drive containing my father's medical journals and ran for the service stairs. Outside, heavy tactical boots were slamming against the concrete floor of the main lobby. They were the police. They wore black tactical gear without insignia. And they had tactical flashlights cutting through the darkness, searching for me. My phone vibrated in my pocket. It was a FaceTime call from the identical twin sister I called 20 minutes ago. I swiped the screen with shaking fingers. On the video, she was tied to a chair inside a moving vehicle. And a man's heavy voice behind her whispered into the speaker, "We already have Subject B. Give us the hard drive, or we purge the genetic project entirely."
The call went dead. I was cornered on the 3rd floor of the service stairs. I could hear their heavy breathing just 1 flight below me. There was only one way out. I smashed the thick glass of the high court window with a heavy metal fire extinguisher. I jumped blindly onto the roof of a delivery van parked in the rain-soaked alleyway below. The metal crushed under my weight, the shockwave tearing through my spine. I rolled onto the wet asphalt, clutching the hard drive like a shield. Unmarked black SUVs tore into the alley, their tires screaming against the wet ground. But I didn't run into the dark city streets. Instead, I used the van's local router to upload my father's entire database directly to an open dark web torrent network. The upload bar reached 100%, just as a heavy tactical boot stepped on my chest. A man in a mask looked down at me, raised a weapon, and whispered, "You think you saved the world? Look at the hard drive, Subject A." With my failing eyesight, I looked at the encryption key on the drive. It wasn't a stolen database. It was an automated broadcast network. By uploading it, I didn't expose the billionaires. I just triggered the final phase of the activation program for all 200 missing children across the United States.
The signal is live. 200 missing children just went offline across America. If this video is still playing, I am already inside their federal holding facility. But look around your own neighborhood right now. Who built the schools? Who signs the custody laws? What would you do if you found out your entire life was just Subject A of a classified social experiment? Would you delete the hard drive or find your twin sister? Type your tactical survival plan in the comments right now. And subscribe to Last Words Never Said before they locate your database node. The countdown has already started.